idea about database. And database components, it's including 3 components. One of them, the main, is table. That the table is have rows and columns, which all the data will be saved inside these 2 components. Database system security. Database security related to the collective measure used to protect, secure, and secure a database and database management system. Database management system is a software that uses to create a database and work with database. Why we are going to secure them? We are going to secure these 2 systems, database and database management system, from wrong use and malicious threat and attacks. Because if you have a system, and this system contains so many data, someone else who don't like us, someone else who do it for his purpose will attack our system and crushing and gain the access to our data. This security system is a broad term that includes multitude of processes, tools, and methodologies that use it to ensure the security of our system. Database system security process diagram. After we collecting our data and gathering all the information about the organization that we want to create a database for it, the first thing that the system security is going to do is to discover the data. Are this data? Is all the data that we are collected, or they have some other problems with that? The second point is classify. When we collected our data, the system security is going to classify our data. Which one is good, which one is bad, which one needed to be tested first, which one needed to be tested last. The third process is access. After the classification and discovering our data, the data will be able to access to the system, which means then the collective data can be accessed to the system to work with it. Then prioritizing. When we save it our data, the security system is going to give the priority to our data. How? For example, if you have the name of lecturer, the head department of the head of the department in every department in the university will be give the priority first to be checked. Then the other data will be give the prioritized. Fix. The security system is going to fix the crushed data. Or we have, for example, we collected some data from unknown source. And this data has infected with some viruses or with some threats. So the security system is going to fixing these threats and the crushed data. If they are fixed, they can go to the next level. If not, they will be taken away. The final step is monitoring. We gathered all the information and collected it, so it can be monitored and used for the system. Database system threats. What's threats? Threats is the dangerous to every organization, which inflict a big damage and great loss to every organization. For example, if I have a database in my company and some threats infected my system, it will be a big loss for me because all my data will be crushed and I cannot use them for my work. The usage of database nowadays is increasing. In every system, in every organization, in every department, now we are going to use a database. Also, at the same time, the use of threats, the frequency of threats is increasing. The frequency of attacks is increasing. Why? Because some hackers and attackers, they will attack your system for some purpose. For example, they don't like you. They want to crush your system. They want to gain money from you. That's why it's also increasing with at the same time for increasing the database. This is the diagram that I collected from some references. If we see in year 2004, the use of database is 55%, and the threat is 28%. By year till 2017, the use of database is now 96. Also, the threat is 85, which means it's increased, both of them increased at the same time. So we have to be prepared and protect ourselves from the threats. Type of threats in database. We have too many types of threats in database. I mentioned the 4 most popular threats in this PowerPoint. The first one is denial of service. If you are working on your database and suddenly your system is being shut down and you cannot reach your database, you need to be sure that your system is being infected with the denial of service. Why? Because when it's infect any system or database, it will automatically shut down the system and it will be out of reach. You cannot gain the access of your database. The second one, SQL injection. SQL injection, the hackers and attackers, when they are using this attack, it will automatically, they will break your firewall and gain access of all your data. How you know that your database is being infected? When you see some data is being added without your permission, some data is being deleted without your permission. So you need to be sure that your system is being infected with SQL injection. The third one, privilege abuse. The only thing that abuse is to break the firewall. It will monitoring your system till it can break your firewall and crash your firewall. After you crash your firewall, so there is nothing to protect your system from any other threats outside. The final one, audit trailer. Audit trailer, it's only recording your system, recording your work, till it find a way that your firewall or your system in a point, the security of it is going to load down till it attacks you. For example, if you want to update your system or you shut down your firewall for some reason, at this point, the audit will attack it directly. This is the idea about the threat in database. We have too many other threats, but this is the most popular now in our day. Protecting data in database. The first one is daily backup. Any one of us, if you have a database or work with database, he need or she need to back up their data daily. For example, Microsoft company, his scheduling time for backupping their data, it's 10 seconds per an hour. Every 10 seconds, their data will be backed up automatically. So anything that happened to their system, they don't need to be worried. Why? Because their data is safe and they have a backup. The second one, shared level or file level security. If you are working in a company and we have a shared file, I want to share with two other peoples, and my database is saved inside this shared file. So I share it with two other peoples, and my shared file is secured, so there is no problem. But what happens if my shared file is not secured? The third person, the fourth person can access to the file and gain the access to the data. So shared file need to be secured. Document with password protection. All of us know that about the passwords. But document with password protection, it's need to be secured also. For example, if you work with Microsoft Access, when you are going to save your file on some computer like that, anyone who uses this computer can open your file, open your database in Microsoft Access. But if you secure it with a password protection, any other else come and open this laptop and open your file, he cannot open it. Why? Because it's protected with a password. EFC encryption, encrypting file system. It's a modern way to secure your file. How? By encrypting it, changing your file execution to another file. For example, my access file is .acc. I will encrypting this file to another type of files, for example, exe. And any other one want to open this file, it cannot be opened. Why? Because it's encrypted. So he need to encrypt it, to decrypt it again, then open it. Disk encryption. Disk encryption is used for a server, the hard disk on the server. If someone crashed your firewall and gained the access to the disk that on your server, he can access to your files. But if you encrypting your disk after crashing your firewall, he cannot access to the file. Why? Because it's encrypted. And steganography to hide data. Also, this is the point, is a modern way for securing your data. I want to send my file, my database file to someone else. And the middleman that transmitting this file to the third person, I don't trust them. So I will use this security system to hide my file inside an image. We have image and we know that the image is made with pixel. So I will hide it inside one of these pixels that the middleman don't know where it is. Improve database security. Encryption of your database. It's the same thing as I talked before. Encrypting our data is increasing the security of our system. Out of sign. Out of sign is another way to improving our security for our database. If we work in a department and we are 5 members, there is a database file that only me and my manager know what it is. We don't know that other people to know. So we will hide it in a destination that only the manager and I know where it is. Keep an eye on database behavior and monitoring. I mentioned before the threats that infect our system. For example, if your system is infected with denial of service, your computer will be shut down, your system, your database will be shut down and out of reach. So the user of database need to keep an eye on your system. If your system is shut down directly, or you cannot access to the system, or your data is being added, increased, deleted without your permission, you have to be sure that your system is being infected. So you need to keep an eye on your database behavior every second.
Please. We have 2 minutes.
2 minutes, okay.
Yeah.
This is the last one. Strong login password. We all know that everything we working with it is now secured with a password. But the standard way of securing our password is the standard password protection with a capsule lock, symbols, and number to protect our data. That's all. Thank you for listening. Any questions?
Thank you. Other presenter is Mohammed Ahmad. The title of the paper, A Review of Home Alarm Systems Against Israel.